Wow, so great. That is so great. You know, he's an incredible guy. Thank you. Get him out of here, will you? Get him out. All right, thank you. Boy, oh boy, never fails. But you know, again, I say it all the time. Now the cameras, they follow that. They know how many people. The all-time record, look over there. Hey, cameras, take a look over here. Take a look. Unbelievable. 32,000 people. This is amazing. And by the way, look over there. We can't get them in. They won't let them in. Why can't they come in? Fire department, let them in. Let them in. You've got thousands of people over there. Let them in if you can. All right. So look, first of all, that's the first time that Senator Sessions has ever endorsed. It's a big deal. That's, to me, a big deal. So we've had some interesting times and together. You know, Time Magazine a couple of weeks ago, they did a cover story that this is a movement. This isn't me. A movement. We're going to take smart instead of dumb. There's never been a time where we've made so many decisions that have been so wrong, whether it's the Iran deal, the borders, like Swiss cheese. We are going to great. We are going to do things so smart. We are going to be so competent. You're going to be so proud of your president. Believe me, you're not proud now, but you're going to be proud of your president. So, over the last period of couple of weeks, nasty things are said, right? Nasty things. Well, no, Marco's the lightweight, but so many. This guy. I mean, when you're up 20 points in Florida, we're up. The guy, they hate him in Florida. He can't be elected dog catcher in Florida. This guy, you know, I call him Little Marco. He's a nice guy. But, you know, I watched. You saw yesterday I got the endorsement of Chris Christie. Tough guy, good guy, smart, wonderful guy. And he was so enthusiastic. But I watched, when Chris was running, I watched something I don't see often. I watched a man melt in front of me. Chris started grilling lightweight Marco Rubio. And Marco was standing right here, right next to me during the debate, the one before last. And Chris went into him, and I thought it was okay. He mentioned the Obama phrase once. Then he mentioned it a second time. I said, that's strange. And then I noticed he was like pouring water. He was sweating. I've never seen anything like it. I thought he just got out of a swimming pool with his suit on. I said, what's going on? And I'm saying to myself, I hope he's okay. Ay, ay, ay. Folks, look, we have to love everybody. All lives matter. Remember that. All lives matter. So, we'll have these little interruptions. Don't worry. You know, when you have 32, now it's 35 because they're starting. When you have 35,000 people, if you have a few protesters, I guess that sort of has to happen, right? So I'm looking at little Marco, and I say, man, there's something happening with him. And he's like melting. Then he said the phrase a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. I said, he's just melted down. That's really bad. Then I get ready. You know, I'm a strong guy, believe it or not. I get ready, and I think he's going to faint. Now, we don't need a fainter to negotiate with China and Putin. We don't need a fainter to knock the hell out of ISIS, do we? We don't need a faker. We don't need a guy who's sweating and scared, and I never saw anything like it. So that's it. Now he wants to act like a big man. Oh, Trump's a con man. Trump's a con man. I'm a con man. I built an incredible business. I filed papers with the federal elections that are so unbelievable. And believe me, if they weren't unbelievable, I wouldn't be here right now. And these guys would have never, ever, they could not believe how great a company I built. And I got to listen to this guy that took money to build a driveway. And when they caught him, he said, oh, let me reimburse. I used the wrong credit card, right? Took it out of the Republican Party. When you look at what he's done, he takes a house. He buys a house for $178,000 or so. He sells it to a lobbyist for $380,000, a lobbyist that's dealing with him in the state of Florida. You tell me that's what we're going to have as our senator, and that's what we're going to have as our president? There's no way. There's no way. You can't do it. You can't do it. You know, we have a problem. These guys, all of them, I'm self-funding my campaign, folks. I don't care. We're going to make the right decision. I'm self-funding. But these guys are all taken care of. When you get right down to it, whether it's the drug industry where we don't bid competitively drugs, you know, drugs to make you better. We have pharmaceutical companies and we have an industry. They take care of these people. Tell me, isn't it fun to be at a Trump rally? Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? Right. It's part of the deal. You know? It's like part of the deal. I remember, okay, you remember this? I said, well, he's not going to make it. Bernie Sanders is speaking. And these two young women came up and they took over the microphone. Do you remember that? And he walked away. And I said to myself, wow. But do you remember they came up? No microphone's going to be taken over from me. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Because they're not taking it over from me. They're taking it over from you. Can't happen. And I'll never forget that scene. He looked so weak and so pathetic. And by the way, he's over anyway. It's not going to happen. You saw what happened yesterday. Now, in all fairness, Hillary should not be allowed to run because she broke the law. Sure, broke the law. She should not be allowed to run. She's probably protected by the Democrats, but she should not be allowed to run, folks. I'll tell you. You either have laws or you don't have laws. And what she did, you look at General Petraeus, you look at so many people have gotten into such hot water over that and gone away. You know where I'm talking about. And with her, and by the way, did you ever see so many? How do you do 10,000 emails, 20,000, 40,000? How the hell do you do so many emails? Does anybody do emails like that? So let's see what happens. I think we're going to have to run against her, which is good. Frankly, I think it's great. And I will beat her. The other guys are not going to beat her, folks. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. And I guarantee you one thing. We're going to be talking about those emails every moment of every day. And we're going to shame them into doing the right thing. but we're going to beat Hillary. Polls have come out where I'm leading her recently. Polls have come out where I'm USA Today, the Q poll, others. Fox recently came out with a poll. I'm beating her. I haven't even started on her yet, folks. I haven't even started. She's not right now part of the equation, to be honest with you. I like to do one thing first. And if you take a look at the people. Governor Walker, nice guy, but he attacked Trump, right? Jeb Bush, very nice person, right? Very. Okay, so I don't want to Lindsey Graham, this poor guy. And he was so vicious. He was so vicious. And his idea of the war, he thinks he's a military expert. He says, I'm a military expert. We've been listening to this guy for years. Where are we? With nowhere. I know what to do. You know what to do. What I told you to do is the right way to do it. If we listen to some of these guys on the military, we're going to be over there for another 20 years. We can't do it. Look, we've spent $2 trillion in Iraq. We have absolutely nothing. We've lost thousands and thousands of great, great military, young, beautiful people. We've got wounded warriors who I love all over the place. And you know what we have? Nothing. We have nothing. We don't even call them anymore. And you know who's taking over Iraq and the second largest oil supplies? We have the second largest reserves in the world. People don't even know that in Iraq. Iran is taking, for years, they'd fight. They'd fight for years, they'd stop, they'd rest. Then they'd fight for years. Saddam Hussein, gas, they don't like it, everybody complains, they'd stop. Then it goes the other way. They had the same power. And then we get up, we blast the hell out of one of the power. So now, what happens? Iran is taking over. So not only do they make the greatest deal that I've ever seen made, they got $150 billion. They should have never gotten that money. They should have released our prisoners 4 years ago, not after they get the money like it's ransom. I tell that story all the time. One of the dumbest deals, they never walked. I kept saying, they're going to walk now. They're going to walk now. Because we kept giving up on every single point. In Iran, they were dancing in the streets. The people are dancing. Obama's calling the head, the supreme leader. I will never call him, I promise you, the supreme leader. I will never. But you know what you do? Okay, so let's say 3.5, 4 years ago, they had the prisoners. And you walk in, because this deal was going on forever. Did you ever see a deal so long? And it's a horrible deal. So you walk in and you say, fellas, great negotiators, the Persians are great negotiators. They all read The Art of the Deal, too, by the way. I can tell you, our people didn't read it. Our people did not read it. But you walk in and you say very nicely, and I tell this story, and actually one of the reporters from the New York Times thought the story. They loved the story. I'll tell you a little bit. My father was a good guy. He taught me how to negotiate a little bit, and he was a really good guy. Oh, by the way, this little Rubio guy said my father gave me $200 million. My sister called me up. She said, no, are you kidding?
All right, there you have it. Donald Trump speaking live at a rally this evening in Madison, Alabama. He opened up talking about Marco Rubio, using that phrase we've heard him use quite a few times, calling him a lightweight, criticizing him. Moving on, talking about two groups of protesters that were removed from the rally just a few minutes ago, and right now blasting the U.S.-Iran nuclear deal. We will continue to monitor this as well. But the big news out of this today was that Senator Jeff Sessions, a senator of Alabama, came out and he endorsed Donald Trump. He said, quote, "This isn't a campaign. This is a movement," putting his support behind Trump. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I'm Poppy Harlow in New York. Next on CNN, join Don Lemon and Michaela Pereira. They are live from the red carpet for Hollywood's biggest night, the Academy Awards. Be sure to stay with us after the big awards show to get reaction of the night's biggest moments. Hollywood's biggest night starts in just a moment.